news stories in the pizza world. I'm your host, Will Dumas, and I'm joined by our special guest host tonight, Anna Crusit. Anna is the owner and operator of Mercurio's Artisan Gelato and Neapolitan Pizza in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What's up, Anna? Welcome back to Pizza
Yeah,
Roundtable.
thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. What's up? How are you doing? I'd love to hear a little bit fresh off a trip to Pizza Expo. Did it meet all your expectations and dreams? Best event ever? What was it like?
It really was a great expo this year. I've never gotten so much sleep in Las Vegas. I learned from last year. I prioritized like places I needed to be and um and just kind of tried to not do everything. I tried to prioritize the commitments I was going out for. And it's hard because you see
Yeah.
all of your pizza friends and you want to hang out with them and you want to spend a lot of time with them. And this year I was like, no, I'm not going to go home and get sick and be away from work for even longer. So, but
Okay.
it's so nice. It's
It
such a
sounded
fun
like
trip. I would encourage anyone to go, even if you're not in the business and you just like pizza, just go hang out.
all right. So this sounded like a responsible expo for you, a
Yeah.
responsible expo
It
experience.
only took me like 10 expos to figure that out.
10th time's a charm, as they say. What was one of the cooler events or kind of things? Actually, I'd love to hear a couple. Anything on like the floor this year like really stand out to you that you kind of like walk by and were like, wow, that was like really cool, unexpected. Whether that was a booth or just a setup. Sometimes people have like really cool booths or displays or products. Anything like pop to you
Pizza
or
Bib had the coolest booth,
oh
for
really?
sure. They had swing dancers, and it was set up like a 1950s, like you had people jiving on the dance
Yeah, yeah,
floor,
yeah.
and yeah, that was super fun, and they're always a lot of fun, that booth. Um, I didn't walk around a whole lot.
Okay.
I was responsible this year for the Make-A-Wish booth, so
Yep. Yep.
I was just kind of stationed there,
Yeah.
made sure anybody that was coming in knew how the booth was operating. And then the WPC book launched, and so they were signing in that booth
Yeah.
area and selling them in that area. And so I got to be the lucky one to have the square on my phone to be able to sell these books. So that was kind of where I was for the majority of the
Okay.
expo. But for the bit that I could walk around, I would say that Pizza Bib won like best booth, my
Awesome. All
opinion.
right. How did you get good traction at Make a Wish? Good turnout
Yes,
from what you were expecting. Nice. That's
yes,
awesome to hear.
definitely. We had the sponsors, a lot of people pull through kind of in the end. Pizza Master, gave a really generous donation. Lloyd Pan, um, they
Awesome.
just like we were kind of coming down. I think, and even after we presented the check, it was like $44,097 or something. Um,
Amazing.
yeah, it was awesome. I think we've even been able to get close to $900 like from the expo. So I think it runs through the end of this month, and then starting in April, like whatever we can collect goes through to the next expo.
Yeah.
But people were donating even, after the fact, because we were selling water, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we presented the check at 2 o'clock, but the expo goes till 4, so we
Yeah.
still like were able to make some money. It was really fun.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
What about did you get, I think there was a pretty big event too. Was there a Women in Pizza event as well? Did you get to attend that?
Yes.
Uh,
I released myself from my obligation of being at the inductee ceremony for the WPC to head over to the Women in Pizza event that they had, and it's always so nice. It's sponsored by Grande Cheese and Hormel, and obviously Women in Pizza. They just became a nonprofit, so
okay.
their goal is to start raising money, putting together a website that just highlights women in the industry, and just so that people can find them and find their pizzerias and see the styles that they're doing and get to know them, and give them a platform. And then also so they can start providing scholarships for other women and in the industry. So I think it's really cool what Alex and Orlando Foods and Women in Pizza is doing. So
That's
I love to go to that event and sponsor and meet the sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, I saw a lot of pictures of that. Everyone looked pretty excited to be there.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it seemed like a fun one.
it's fun. That's a fun one. And
I
and boys are invited too. So
I was gonna say, like, I thought I saw a couple males there as well, made the cut for it or able to
it,
attend.
it
So
is it's crazy how the first event that they had done um was maybe 20
yeah,
total
yeah, yeah,
women. It was just women, and there wasn't, but like every year it just gets bigger,
bigger.
and there's more women that are just, you see them online, and
Yeah,
you just don't meet them. And then Expo's so big, it's hard to, run in and
yeah.
connect with everyone. So it's just a nice carved out space and time that that people will be, that you'll get to spend some time with
I
them.
love it. And wait, listen, last thing, remind me, were you doing a seminar or a session?
I had a
I thought,
seminar,
right? A
yes.
seminar, yes. How'd it go? Turnout?
The turnout was like 50 more people than I had expected. It was 4 o'clock,
Nice.
4 to 5 on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And 5 o'clock so the expo's over at 4. And at
Yeah.
5 o'clock, they had the pizza games. So I had just expected that everybody would be going down to the show floor
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
watching
absolutely.
the competitions. So I thought, well, this is a, kind of an interesting
Yeah.
time to have a seminar. But I thought anybody who makes it to the seminar is actually very
Really wanted
interested
to
in
be there.
learning what I'm talking about. So I had a very engaged audience. But
No,
while it was smaller than probably most seminars I've done, it was definitely like people were very interested in what I was talking about. So I had good questions, and um, I had presented this seminar probably 4 times, and every time I do it, I feel like I get closer to like what people are really, really, truly looking for in it, because so broad. It's such a broad topic.
what was
How
it?
to
What
add
was the topic you had again? How to?
how to add gelato to your
Right, right. Okay.
operation, or frozen desserts. And on the surface, you're like, well, call up your supplier and order some, and then
Yeah,
change
right,
up your
right, right,
menu
right.
and buy a chest freezer
Right. I'd be like, I need a cold display or cold storage, and I order the product. And I bet you that's not the only two things that I
and
need
buy
for
some
that. So,
cups and spoons. So, it could go so many ways. Then you're like, frozen desserts. Like, what does that even mean? You're like, you have soft serve and sorbetto and Italian water ice, and you have I don't know. It was just like, it's so big, but I think like people are really coming because they have a business and they just want to add specifically gelato,
yeah.
perhaps ice cream, but really gelato, and they want to know how to make it. And so that's
The
really,
secrets to come out. I get it.
yeah, so they want to know, like, how do I make this? If I want to make ice cream, how do I make ice cream?
Yeah.
And so this time I was like providing like a recipe and some resources that they could use, different equipment that
Nice. Okay.
I think would be helpful for them, and display cases, different types, and why you would use one versus another. And then
Awesome.
obviously I'm like, you can just call me, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. But
Of course. I'm interested. Did any like flavors come out of that? Was it like, did people ask about like what certain flavors to do, or did people talk about? I'm always interested. Like on the frozen side, is there like a flavor of the year? Like, do you get a vibe from going in there? People are like, I want to do standard things. If you want to be super creative, I'm just always interested in that aspect.
yeah, I mean, they asked me what flavor sells the best or what I would
Yeah.
recommend. And it's funny because when we started, my family and my parents started in 1999, we were very traditional. You had your hazelnut, your
Yeah.
pistachio, your chocolate hazelnut, stracciatella. But we learned very early that Americans want like junk in
Yeah.
their ice cream. They want the nuts, they want like the pieces of things. And so in an effort to be marketable and to stay in business, they had a very American product with an authentic Italian gelato base. So that made us unique from the get-go. You have some people who are like truists that come into it. We talked a little bit about this
Yeah.
before, how they come in and they're like, I would never, put that in the gelato. But really, I feel like, so for me, chocolates with brownies,
Yeah.
or peanut butter cups, like 2 to 1. People love chocolate flavors.
Of
I
course.
personally do not. I mean, that is just not my gig. But our
Okay.
chocolate is delicious, by the way. But if I'm going to eat it, I would choose something lighter than stuff in my ice cream
I get it. All right.
gelato.
Well, listen, you're the prime example of that. You could be like, listen, I do everything else traditional, right? But
Yeah.
on this side, it all
Yeah.
goes wild, right? Willy Wonka style, going in all directions.
Yeah. But in the industry, just in general, tea
Yep.
flavors are trending.
Okay.
So like Earl tea,
Ooh,
honey
interesting.
lavender tea, green, anything with green tea. It's very popular. I see that a lot
I just feel
in
like
ice
if
cream.
I'm so on the outside to that, but just like thinking about it, I feel like everything we see nowadays is like boom, like in your face flavor. And tea just seems like conceptually subtle to me. Like it's
Hmm.
not the same idea. So that it's interesting. I mean, I guess obviously a different profile than something more savory, right on the sweet side. But I just always think I'm hearing every like wild, creative, like flavor bomb type thing, and tea just doesn't sound that way to me. But maybe I'm wrong.
I love tea. I make it. It sounds okay, but I mean
Yeah.
when you have 36 flavors to choose from and you have like, honey tea
Yeah.
next to like
Chocolate razzle dazzle bomb,
chocolate,
and I'm just like,
exactly,
I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do the
blackberry
tea.
truffle. Like they just like choose the other they have the other option, and I'm just still trying to make some money. I just make what people buy. And if I
I
make a
get it.
flavor and you don't buy it in 5 days, like I'll never make that flavor again. People are like, I was here this one time and you had a flavor, and I was like, oh, no, no, we're not ever doing that one again.
Wow,
Sorry.
that fast. So you're in, you're out. Like you're willing to experiment, but I mean, it's a short leash. It's a
I will
limited
know
time offer
quickly.
that's gonna sell or not sell, and
I
you're
will know
never
very
coming back.
quickly. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh
And
wow.
then I also am like strategic about when I am releasing the flavor, like in season,
Okay.
and or it will be like a really busy weekend. So, right, like we are having an arts festival this weekend. I want to
Yeah,
try
yeah,
this
yeah.
flavor. How does it compare next to every other flavor that we have in this display case?
Okay.
Because it has to be the better option, right? It has to be like, I want the caramel coffee crunch, but I also want peanut butter cup, or I want the stracciatella, which is super popular.
Yeah.
Peach mango, also popular. So how does it compare up against that? And if I can't sell 5 liters or 5.5 liters of that in a day
Yeah.
and a half, like it's not, I mean, that's not going to work. So I just don't make
Okay.
it.
Dang. All right.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, listen, we gotta talk some
We have to
beatbox.
do
I could
something.
actually just keep talking gelato. I'll tell you the truth. I'm actually kind of interested, so I would have been down for it. We'll have
I'll
to
come
come back
back.
for the gelato cast afterwards.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. First, let's start off with a creative one. I'm interested in this just because we were just talking about so many creative gelato flavors, but no, you're a traditionalist on the pizza side. So, what I want to see is I'll present this first one. This one was a recipe that came out of Pizza Today. So, let me know, does gorgonzola pear pizza with prosciutto qualify for the traditional side of the menu, or would that not make it at all? I'm interested if that kind of falls in that space, Anna, or will it not?
I think it does qualify as a traditional pie.
Okay, nice. All
Yeah,
right, a
I
winner to
do.
start with. All
I have no
right.
idea what Pizza Day said about that, but um,
So they put up a, it was a menu. I forget who put up the recipe, but they gave the recipe, like they do like a recipe of the week. I
okay,
don't know, they didn't author it. I think the author was just Pizza Day on it. Normally they're featuring someone's like
right.
recipe, you know what I mean? But it was a gorgonzola pear pizza with prosciutto di parm, and that's it. And you've got, let's see, Shredded mozz, baby spinach, gorgonzola, pears, obviously prosciutto, maple honey syrup,
Maple. Ooh.
and a handful of pecans. Wait, are you a pecaner or a pecaner?
A
Pecan or
pecan.
pecan? Pecan.
Pecan.
Okay. That's why you're Parmesan. I'm pecan and right,
And
and
I'd
then
say
pecorino. I'm pecan pecorino. You're Parmesan pecan.
pecan. I do say syrup though, and caramel, but nobody in Pittsburgh says that. I don't know what happened to me. I say caramel instead of caramel. I mean, I will say
I say
caramel, but
caramel. I
like
say caramel. I'm gonna put caramel on that.
you're not from Pittsburgh.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like that seems normal though for me to say.
It is in my head. It sounds normal. Like I will say like how other people say it, but if I'm just talking, I like to say it's like caramel.
Okay,
But
makes
it's
sense.
definitely pecan in my head. And I don't know. Oh, that was my choice, pecan or pecan. I was thought you were
Yes.
gonna go
Yeah.
like walnut or
No. Oh no. I'm not. Listen. I'm happy to sub some in. What would you go? Give me an alternative nut you would choose for this one.
I was gonna say that that's a traditional pizza until you added the maple syrup to it or the
Okay.
syrup
Fair.
glaze
Fair.
on it. Then I was like, that's
I get
taking it
that.
in a different direction.
I get that. Oh,
But this sounds delicious.
what would we do otherwise then if we needed some sweetness? If we weren't mapling?
I think the pears should speak for themselves. Get some sweet pears.
Okay. All right.
I
That's
mean, to
it.
me,
Leave
it
it.
was like spinach. I was gonna say I hope they have arugula on that, but then you said spinach, so
Ooh.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And I'll be happy with that. And the gorgonzola with the pear sounds wonderful.
Okay. All right. Fine. At least we got a winner to start with. I'm happy with that. Um, I would have been okay either way, just for the record. But I just wanted to see where you were going to land on it. All right.
What do
So
you think?
I'm down. It sounds traditional for me. I think like if I hear pear, prosciutto, gorgonzola, to me like that trio sounds like it could fit a number of different serving vessels. To be honest, is how I think about it, and that feels in
Right.
the traditional. It's on the outskirts, but it is like you. If I went to a menu and said, "Oh, this is a traditional space," and they had that, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, my gosh!" I'd be
Right.
like, "Cool, all right,
Right.
you guys are with it. You're not too far out there, but it's a little different." All right, let's talk pepperoni real quick. So this one out of Nation's Restaurant News. Papa John's introduces items with cup and crisp pepperoni. So specifically on this one, the pizza chain is offering the ingredient on pizza, a papadilla and a papa bite. I didn't even know what papa bites were. I'm really surprised. I feel like I would have covered them for some reason. We didn't. The
I don't think so.
papadilla, the papadilla thing is kind of cool. That's at the top here, just a reference. It's like a folded calzone that never closed, right? I don't know. The
It reminds me of how they eat pizza in Naples, the street food when they fold it
Sure.
up and they hand
Yeah,
it to
yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's what it
I
looks
guess you'd be
like.
another fold then on top, right? And just walk around with it and flatten it like
Yeah.
that. But I feel like those are like the papadilla seems to be the kind of the trend just in general that everyone's dealing with, like where they're making your Neapolitan, you're folding it over, you're turning it
Right.
into a sandwich, right? I mean, you see them now on every. I know you're such a social media socialite, right? But they're all over social media out there when people are
I'm sure
eating
I'll
them.
see them in 5 years when it's past. This is just not news anymore.
All right, listen, but anyway, to the point of this one, the pepperoni that I wanted to get to on it, what I'm interested in is so this new crispy cuppy roni is a thicker version of the popular like cup and char pizza pepperoni in general. So I'm interested in just your thoughts on it. I forget if you guys do or don't do cup and char, and if you did, would you need pepperoni to be thicker in any reason? For me, that one sounds. I don't know if I needed that, but I'm interested in your thoughts here, Anna.
I so we do on our Sicilians do a cup and char pepperoni.
Okay.
Um, I would just, in my opinion, if it's thicker, then it you would have to be mindful about how much of it, because usually
Sure.
with pepperoni you kind of just toss it on and it's clustered.
Yeah.
And when it's thinner, that's easy. But if you're having like a lot of thick pieces, you don't want to be chewing pepperoni after the rest of all the food is gone in
I'm
your
with
mouth.
you.
So I would say you'd have to space it appropriately on the pizza. You couldn't just lay them right next to each other. Although
Oh,
that pizza looked like it had a whole lot of pepperoni on it.
yeah. Well, I think the purpose of this one is basically, let me pull it back up, is to like not see the pizza. Probably it's just to like see the sheer amount of pepperoni, and for particular Papa John's orders, that is the jam that you want. But something about it to me, like just even the thicker, just the idea of the thicker pepperoni, I'm kind of just like, I just don't think I need to bite that or pull it or it's gonna come off. Like,
Well, I think that there's like a balance with it. When you eat meat or there's too much of it, even with Neapolitan pizza, you can, it looks like just a little bit, but as you're eating it, if that's all you're chewing,
yeah,
it's, you're like missing the other ingredients around it. So to thicker pepperoni, that's what it sounds like. It perhaps would need to be on like a thicker slice of pizza. Maybe
yeah,
there's
I
like a
could see
place
that.
for it.
This could be a Detroit style
Right.
topping, right? Okay, I could see
Right.
that going that direction.
But I think even New York is kind of, that's bold.
Yeah.
I would go with a thinner.
Okay. All right. Cool. Speaking to the point about, I like this about ingredient placement. So I have a feeling you have good distribution of toppings on your pies. Do people feel? Would you think anyone would ever be like, this is a little lackluster, or is that maybe just someone who's inexperienced in the Neapolitan world that's like, oh, there's like four pepperonis on this pizza, and you're like,
I
wait,
know.
but they're thicker, and they're like,
There's a reason we don't put pepperoni on the pizza. Uh, I think that I make them perfectly, so there's that. But I think that there's a good percentage of customers who come in and think that I was probably pretty light on the basil. It's the people who know our style and who like our style are there for it, and everybody else, I just tell them that's how I make it.
you're light on the basil, really?
We put like a normal amount. I don't know how else to
Oh,
explain it.
wait,
Like,
like if I'm, am I covering it? Are we like
no.
so we're strategically placing them, or do we
Kind of towards
drop
the
them? What is
center,
it?
and I break it apart, and I put like three or four smaller pieces on it.
Okay.
If we're in a real big hurry and we have a lot of tickets, I just throw them and hope. Do I get a an emoji with a crossing fingers? I don't know. You just hope for the best. But we do put the basil on top of our sauce, which I know is controversial in the
With
Neapolitan pizza world. Some people
with
don't cook the basil.
right,
Some
right.
people put it on
So
after the fact.
you're pre-bake or post-bake, sorry.
Pre-bake and on
Pre-bake.
top of the sauce, yeah.
And
Under the
wait, but
cheese.
under the cheese. So
Yes.
there's something on top of them though. So there's cheese
Yes.
on top of it. Okay.
That's right.
Oh, so maybe they just can't see the basil. That could be the problem. You're not skimping. They just didn't
True.
know it was there. That's how I would sell it. Like it's
Any
all underneath.
child
It's
that
all
doesn't want
underneath
green
there.
stuff on their pizza will find it.
That's true. I have one of those, so that's for sure. That I get.
Not in my house. I say, you don't eat the basil, you don't eat the pizza. I can't have that.
That makes sense. I'm with you on there. Mine's getting better, but sometimes be like you never like it's like you put like a whole bowl of stuff out, right? And they're just like, what is that? And you're like, oh my god, like it's like a pepper flake. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, like relax. Seriously.
So true.
All right, I forget. Do you do delivery or early pickup?
Pickup. No
Pickup
pick.
only,
No,
right? All
no,
right.
no
All right,
delivery.
perfect. This will be the article for you. So, as we look to expand Mercurios right into delivery now, this one out of PMQ, this small pizza chain aims to aims to make drone delivery a reality. So this is what I'm really looking for. So there's a company, like they're called Zipline, and they do drone deliveries. And so I think we've seen a couple of these kind of like partnerships announced. So it's a 25 location Seattle area restaurant, Pagliacci's Pizza, who's going to be partnering with I think it's Zipline. Yes, Zipline for drone delivery. So Anna, let me start off first with: does the world need pizza drone delivery, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Tell me more about it. Why are you guys not? Why are you not signed up yet? Then come on.
Because my style isn't the right style, but that's not for
Yeah, yeah,
everyone.
yeah,
I
yeah.
really feel like there's times when I'm at home and I would just love somebody to drop some off at my door or something to just put off
Okay,
at my door. But yeah, I think that's neat. I think any way to use technology to kind of push your product
okay.
is neat. I have enough people coming through the door, fortunately, to drive there and pick it up, and for
Yeah,
sitting down in the restaurant, that's just really what the focus is. But, if you're
makes
building a
sense.
model off of drone deliveries, I think that's cool.
Yeah, totally. So I mean, we definitely heard a couple of these pop up, right? And so I think they've kind of been, to be honest, what I've seen so far is them kind of progressing a bit, right? There's a lot. And the article here was pretty good. It highlights a lot of the like, like a lot of issues to navigate, right? There's multiple. It's like you're not just talking about like other delivery companies, right? You're talking about like the FAA, right? So like you're
Right.
flying a vehicle.
Right.
So there's a whole other component to that. I've certainly seen them come up a little bit more. Where I think the one or two that I've ever seen even like covered were like dropped out in a field, and you had to like had a certain area, and you still have to come and pick it up. So we're not yet to the point where it's going to be like dropped to your door, which would be cool, right? So
I,
I'm sure at
you
some
know,
point in time it will. I'm
You
not
know, I
worried we
was
won't
just
get there.
thinking, I bet like all of us are going to be living, maybe not in our lifetime, but it's somebody's lifetime, like with like bullseye dots that are like somehow magnetic or
Oh,
pinpoint
yeah,
on
yeah, 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 yeah.
in our front yards or on our roofs or however, and like the items that you order online are just going to be like
Yeah,
dropped on that. It's going to be like your address, like an email address or your home address. It'll be like your drone address.
I like it. All right, you've heard it first here on Anna Kirsten's AI podcast of where the world of pizza is going to go
The
and food
very
delivery.
least technology person. I don't even know what the word is, but technologically advanced.
Technological,
I'm the
yeah.
worst.
No, listen, I like it. It's a good idea. Or I can
I
definitely
just,
see it makes sense. Logically, the idea of like, hey, pizza's not going to be the only thing coming that way, right? But I mean, and people are always
yeah,
pushing the edges of pizza delivery as a concept. So obviously we've been kind of following this trend for a little bit, but I'm interested to see. I mean,
yeah,
no pun intended when it really does get off the ground with it, but we'll see where it goes.
yeah.
Cool. All right. All right. You're doing pear prosciutto pizzas. You're down for drones, Anna. You're way more out there than I was expecting for this one. All right. I'm loving it. Let's
I
see
like to
how
keep you on
just
your toes.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So I'll say that. I'm like ready right now for this next one. This one I don't think you're gonna go for. But all right. So the next one here is out of PMQ. I'm just gonna pull it up before I even talk about it. So the article is French dressing as a pizza sauce or a side. Here's where it's a thing. Um, so this is as a contestant. I'll read quickly here from the article. As a contestant on Family Feud in 1980, Andrew Gillich, now the mayor of Biloxi, Mississippi, was asked to name an ingredient commonly put on pizza. Without a moment's hesitation, he hit his buzzer and blurted out, "French dressing." To Glinch and his kin, it is the most obvious answer. For me, I ordered a pepperoni pizza and I put French dressing on it. So, I don't know what is going on in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but French dressing is a thing since the 1960s on pizza. This is
Okay.
out there. This is out there for me.
I have two, not one, but two in-laws, my siblings. from Biloxi, Mississippi, and I have been there,
Stop.
and I have never heard of this, and they've never mentioned it to me. So if this is a common topping that they've been withholding from me for the 20 years that they've been married to my siblings, then,
What?
yeah. And I have another sibling who's married to a girl whose family's from Louisiana, which isn't too far away. They're like 45 minutes away from Biloxi, where she is in Baton Rouge, and she's also never mentioned this. So and she spent a lot of time in France. Not that that's the same, but
Only dressing. It's the only dressing they eat in France, Hannah. What are you talking
I,
about?
I bet it's
They actually
not.
just
But
they just call it dressing there, but obviously you don't have to say the French part.
somebody just said that to me in my restaurant. They were like, "And what kind of dressings? Like, do we get on the house salad?" I was like, "What do you mean dressings? Like, there's one. Like, I have four salads and they all get the same dressing. It's just the same. It's just our dressing." And no, don't assume that we sell Italian dressing because we
Oh
don't.
my
Because
god.
everyone's like, "Oh, of course it's Italian." I was like, "That's not a thing." Um,
What is the house dressing? It's like just a vinegar. Is it a oil vinegar
Balsamic
based dressing?
vinegar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
All right.
it's perfect.
I would expect that.
Um,
Yeah. Sometimes you don't need too much, right? You want to accent it, not overwhelm. I'm with you.
that's
We good
right.
there.
But I, as a sauce, no. I mean, I can't. I didn't want to say no right away. I really wanted to feel that out, because
No, I listen. I appreciate you were trying, and I can't believe you have a connection to the area. I'm not gonna lie.
Biloxi.
Like, I don't know where this is. I'm not
I'm
gonna
going
lie.
to message my family after this and ask them if they've ever had it.
Please do. So, Tom's Extreme Pizzeria, an Ocean Springs eatery that offers more than 30 specialty pizzas created in honor of various U.S. states, takes it one step further. Tom mixes it with his own version dubbed Hugo sauce as a base. And adds in a tangy BBQ and Thai. Okay, I don't know. Now we're getting a little out there, but okay. So apparently this is not a thing. But if I'm ever in Bi-
Biloxi, yeah.
Biloxi, just to be clear, we're not calling this Biloxi style pizza. This is just a thing in the distinct area of Biloxi that nobody knows about because apparently you know all the people that are there. So
Just two.
I think they're probably a good representation. If they've been there for a while. So all right, we're going to dispute this one, PMQ. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one.
Where do they find these stories?
I mean, think of French dressing though in general. Anne, if I had to say to you, make a French dressing, what's in a French dressing if you had to think of it for me? Because I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm thinking ketchup and vinegar
In
and
my like,
butter.
I could be way off because I don't buy and I don't eat and I don't make French dressing.
Yeah,
So to me, it would be tangy,
yeah, absolutely.
um, and creamy, like a cream base.
Oh, I'm gonna look one
Am I
up real quick.
close?
Hold on, I'm gonna find
I
out
was
right now. I'm
going
gonna
to,
tell you.
but
No, I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right, we're on Martha's, right? So let's see. I don't know if Martha really has a connection to pizza, but we'll bring it up anyway, Martha. So Martha Stewart's ingredients: 1/4 cup white vinegar, 1/4 cup ketchup, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of paprika, a
oh,
teaspoon of, I love how everyone pronounces Worcestershire sauce differently, coarse salt and olive oil. How do you say it?
Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Isn't that how you say it?
Why is it Worcestershire?
I don't say Shire. I say
I
sure.
know I say Shire, but I also put a T in there earlier on in the word and there's not one, so that's okay too, but it's fine.
You will also say pecan.
That's fair. Well, that's because I like pecorino. Just for
Okay,
anyone that
so
didn't
how did
watch
you
this
know that there
last
was
time.
ketchup in that? I thought in my head it's like a light red cream sauce, similar to, but not tasting like a Catalina color. No, that's way too pink. Like
Yes,
in Italian
that seemed light. I'm with you, but I don't know. I thought it was a tomato
tomato
base to it,
base
but I
with
just figured
vinegar.
somebody would use ketchup. Yeah.
Never considered
So I was
paprika.
thinking
That
barbecue.
doesn't sound like it would be bad.
No, 'cause I was thinking barbecue for like the tang. That's why I was thinking like ketchup and vinegar kind of taste to get something like that. But that was, that's as far as I got.
I don't know anybody who eats French dressing like at all.
Well,
I maybe
let's
need to
try
branch out.
yeah, let's try a gelato. Can we do a French dressing gelato?
I absolutely could make that for you.
All right, I
You want me
appreciate that.
to?
Thank you.
I'll make it
Yeah.
with Heinz though.
Is there another ketchup?
Is there another ketchup? Oh my gosh.
My wife's such a ketchup fan. She's a ketchuper on everythinger where possible,
My
and
kind of
Heinz is
people.
the
My
Heinz is the
husband
way to
works for
go.
Kraft Heinz, so we just
Oh,
really
okay,
love
okay,
everyone to
okay.
eat
Toot
Heinz
toot. Yeah, I'm
products.
with you.
Support my life habits.
All right, one. Let's talk quickly about ballpark food, and only for a minute because specifically the other day, I was on with Jim a couple weeks back, and we were talking about some like 2024 trends coming up, and there was a particular item that came up as a pizza trend. And I was like, I just don't know if this is really going to be a pizza type trend. And so take a look at this pizza and give me your thought about what potentially this topping could be on this one. Note the odd pizza that may or may not factor into your guessing here, Anna. I'll give you some hints, but let's identify what you can from the topping on this.
Okay, so
T-Mobile Ballpark, and this is in Seattle.
it looks like dandelions
Okay.
and
What's the protein? So I'll be more specific. There's a
the
protein on
protein,
top.
it looks like crab meat or a lot,
It
yeah, crab
is.
meat.
Dude,
Crab
you're
meat with
on. You're on.
dandelions.
You're on. How do you know
Is
it's
that what it,
crab? You're
what it
so
looks
good.
like?
So we were talking about how there's a 2024 trend report. I think Pizza Day today had done it, and they were highlighting like the use of crab as something that is coming up that they're seeing. We were all debating that I've never seen any like crab focused pizzas really, and we were just kind of going back and forth of like, who is doing crab pizzas? It's an expensive topping. Like, why go that direction? How is that going to be a trend? I'm interested in your thoughts. I know you're not doing it, but what do you think? And a crab as a pizza trend? Trend is a strong word for me. Like, totally fine to make a crab pizza, but like as a trend that we're going to see others doing, seems like a premium ingredient in my opinion. We were also kind of debating a bit like do you really need it? Is it like how do you use it just to accent a pie? Like I don't know. It just we were struggling with it, but give us your thoughts on it.
I don't think it'll be a trend. I think that that's a too expensive
Yeah,
of a product to just put on your pizza. It has to be specific to market. So it might trend in an area like Boston, I don't know
yeah,
who, or in
fair.
Biloxi, Mississippi. They might be sticking crab underneath that
I think it's
thick
crawfish. Sounds like it might be
crawfish.
crawfish, but close enough. All right.
Hey, I've been to one of those crawfish
Crawfish boil.
parties where they have all the, and you
Yeah.
just have to stand at the table and crack it open. That is pretty delicious. But I don't see it trending. I just think people would use it similarly to what they would do any type of specialty pizza.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would eat this pizza though. Like I thought the pizza looked actually
Absolutely.
pretty good for like a ballpark style.
Was I close on the dandelion there? That's what that looked like. I don't know.
So
Couldn't
it
think of else.
was. It is a fresh Dungeness crab pizza topped with warm butter, dill, thyme, parmesan, and lemon. And that's from Moto Pizza, which is like
Lemon.
huge out there. They have.
Lemon.
Did you ever hear about Moto Moto Pizza out there? They have like a 6 month wait to like get in for it, and like
I have heard of it.
people are going like to the ballpark to the Mariners Park just to get the pizza because it's like easier than trying to like, get in the restaurant, which is just insane to
That
me,
pizza
right?
looked
Like,
awesome.
yeah, the
I
pizza looked
mean,
great.
it
I would
looked
totally be
very
down.
pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with
It
you
didn't look
there.
like lemon though. It's like very large lemon zest.
It looked like maybe we were shaving it off or
Yeah,
something
but
as
that's
opposed to a
that's
zest.
a quite a bite.
It's a thick lemon. It's going to be a lot of toppings. I understand. I'm with you. I'm with you there. All right. Any childhood of like affinity for you to frozen pizza in any sort of way? Would you ever have eaten a frozen pizza growing up, or was it only like fresh food like made by grandma? And if you went to get something frozen, you'd be like, you're insane.
No, if I had a frozen pizza, and it might have been like twice in my childhood, it was probably from the Schwan Man. So I don't think I remember my mom ever buying. I mean, maybe she did, and I just blocked that part out, but I don't think so. We ate mostly pasta. Like
Okay.
I don't remember eating a ton of pizza unless it was like party related or people were coming over and we were just like ordering pizza from a place called Serena's, which still is like my favorite pizza ever because that's what you ate when you were a child. Um,
I gotcha. I gotcha.
it's like maybe it's not even good, but anytime I eat it, it's
Right, but
like
you remember it
perfect.
being
It's
good, right? Of
perfect.
course. So there's a
Yeah.
nostalgia component to that, right?
Um,
Absolutely.
so like, but that I don't remember it being like a
Thing.
ordering pizza for dinner. No. And
Yeah, I
we
got
most
you. So
certainly did not go out for pizza.
really,
Mm-mm.
there's always an order in.
Always an ordering. But there were seven kids. I mean, who takes seven kids anywhere?
Oh, that's fair too, though. To be honest, like I think that we're seeing a lot before of that. Like going out for pizza wasn't always a jam, or if you did, it was like a.
I think I froze. Oh boy. I think we lost
Hey, you got
him.
me.
I'm
Hey.
here.
All right. Sorry, I don't know. We lost you there for a second. I don't know if it was me.
Me?
It was me.
I thought
Yeah.
I
It was
lost
me.
you. I'm just hanging out here. I'm good. I don't know what happened. Are you there?
Hey, can you
Was
hear
that
me?
me? I'm sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, all good, all good. Listen, so what we were just saying. No, I think something happened to our connection. No, all good.
Okay.
Well, I was talking about everyone else in the world who does eat frozen pizza has some kind of like nostalgia connection to it. And the article that we were just chatting about briefly, they had picked three chefs at random, and they were like, "What pizza strikes your heart?" And it was a Stouffer's French bread pizza as the favorite frozen option for anyone. Have you ever had a French bread pizza? Because I could see from the look in your face you have not, and
No.
I think you are missing out on something.
Really? Where do I buy it?
The supermarket?
I've never done that.
Oh my God!
Buy a frozen.
Take your kids to the supermarket. Go buy a French bread pizza at least so they have one time ever to try it. Give it a whirl and come back. Next time we bring you back on,
Stouffer's.
gonna know what this French bread pizza tastes
I
like.
am gonna probably not this weekend though, because I don't want to spend an extra minute in the grocery store over Easter weekend.
Yeah, no, you
Um,
don't need it this one. I'm not. You don't need to put this one out on your table for Easter
oh
coming up. I'm
no, no.
totally okay with it.
I don't even buy bread at the grocery store, so I'm not sure that I would.
That's fair.
I'll buy frozen pizza just for
We're
research and
gonna
development.
challenge you to this one in an upcoming week. No, but don't just buy frozen pizza. A Stouffer's French bread pizza. Okay, it's like a loaf of French bread, but they turn it into a
Oh,
pizza, and
oh,
that's the style of it.
okay.
It's like you had like a play date at like your friend's house on Saturday, and their mom was like, "You guys want lunch?" And you're like, "Yeah, like French bread pizza," and like that's what would come out. And this is a classic. So
Okay.
like, let's go try that. Have a play date and make these, and people will be like, "Oh my God, your mom's so great."
I always have gelato here, so they say that anyway.
That's fair point. That's fair point. Okay. All right. You win them over already. All good.
Although I'm not gonna lie to you. Side note, I was taking gelato to a customer today, and there's no school, so my
Yeah.
kids all came with me, and we were at my restaurant, and where I have 36 flavors in my
Yeah, yeah,
display
yeah,
case.
yeah, yeah.
I load up the gelato, I drive them 30 minutes to this other ice cream store that has been selling our gelato for 25 years.
Yeah.
And they go in there and their eyeballs were just like looking at all of the ice cream flavors. And then they had the novelty case with like the icy push-ups and the SpongeBob popsicles. And they were like, "Can we
Uh,
get this?" And I was like, you don't even have you don't know what you have. You have no idea that this is like they were just like elated and it was like $1 for pop. I said sure. So they got in
yeah,
the car
yeah,
and all
yeah.
three of them were just quiet for 20 minutes eating their they were like, "Why is it called a push-up pop?" And then my oldest was like, "Because you push it up." I'm like, "It's a popsicle. It's a pop, like a popsicle." And they were like, "Does it pop in your mouth?" Like they had no idea what a push pop was because I have sheltered them for so many years. Yeah. Well,
Wow.
this is totally side note over
No,
here,
no,
but
that's
even
okay. I now understand what all of your children are missing in their lives is all of these treats that are from like the,
yeah,
the
the
days of
Stouffer's
yore.
French bread
Yeah.
pizza, I've not
I
had
don't
that either.
I don't know if Stouffer's is a craft product. So I don't know if you want to tell your husband you're gonna
Steve,
buy it. I'm not sure.
is Stouffer's a craft product? Kraft Heinz. Frozen. He says no.
I didn't think so. They make lasagna too, though. You don't have to go that far.
He works in HR.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair. Fair. Okay. All right. Fair then. Okay.
What stuffing? The
Stouffer
Stouffer
stuffing.
stuffing is
Okay.
is
Okay.
his brand.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we're same. Then you're same. Stouffer's. Then you could do the French
No,
bread.
they actually don't. That's not how grocery stores work. They'll own bits and pieces of certain rights to certain foods, but not all of them.
No, no, no.
So
I'm
they'll
saying Stouffer's. If Stouffer's stuffing and Stouffer's lasagna would be the same Stouffer's producer.
they're just the brand name, and then different companies own the rights to those products.
Oh, sure. Yes. Okay. Understood that.
Stouffer's Stovetop. What
Okay,
a,
I'm gonna have to look through these then. Now I'm all over the place on. I don't even know what my childhood was like anymore. I don't even know what I ate. Well, what product was I consuming now? I can't even tell you. Was
I
it
had a
even?
lot of soup.
I don't think Stouffer's makes that at least. But you know what is exciting coming up here, and bring it back on the train back on the track. This next article out of People.com, and it is Travis Kelsey. Oh, wait, so are you a Travis or a Taylor fan, or one or the other, or neither, or just them together? Do you know who they are, Travis Kelsey and
I
Taylor
know
Swift?
who they are. Yes, I
Okay, just
don't live
checking.
under a
Okay.
rock. I mean, I live behind one, but um, I have no opinion, not one. I
Okay.
like her music, but I don't have, or what are they called?
Swifty.
Swifties.
Swifty.
No, I don't, I'm not raising Swifties. They
Okay.
like the music too, but you know how expensive that sounds? Three girls, three
Yeah, no,
Swifties.
I'm with
We're
you.
just gonna keep you over here.
Sounds fine to me. I'm okay with that. I'm all right. I'm getting anxious already thinking about that. I'm like, no, 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 I don't want
I
that
have
either.
too many things going on in my day to sit on my computer to try and buy concert tickets, so we're just not even gonna go down that path.
So her boyfriend here, right, Travis Kelsey, what made news is ate a 30 slice pizza at this Cincinnati restaurant. So the restaurant is called Adriatico's Pizza, and they have a pizza called the Bearcat, and it is a 30 slice 18 by 24. So that's what, like a sheet pan, right? Like a sheet pan size pizza that serves 10 to 12, of which he ate by himself. That is quite a pie. I don't think I could eat anything near that size of a pizza.
It
Nor
doesn't
would I
sound
want
like.
to. Nor would I want to.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe you could do it, but like, I don't know how the next day would be. So,
I'm not well,
well,
is what
that's,
I'm
I mean,
envisioning.
good for him.
Absolutely, right? We all need challenges in our lives. You don't need to win a Super Bowl. You can eat an 18 by 24 pizza and just be as happy as a clam, right? Or
He
whatever.
did win the Super Bowl, though, right?
Yeah, he did, but
I
so
went to
maybe he
bed.
ate this pizza beforehand. That was a good job. See, you know what's up.
I told you behind it. I had to contemplate that. I was like, I remember the next day picture of them hugging, therefore he must have won.
All right, listen, next one up. This is from Summer County Source, was a site. I have no idea where this one is, but I'm interested in it. Taco John's introduces a new taco pizza. Anna, in your opinion, are taco pizzas pizza?
Hmm. Um,
Now,
sure,
this one has, okay,
sure.
fine, go ahead. Good? Okay.
I'll say sure to that because pizza for me is just you have some type of bread and you eat it with your hands. So
Oh, okay. Well,
toppings,
you've got a broader definition of pizza than I do. That's for
yeah.
sure. So some kind, does it have to be a bread base? Now we're going past the taco pizza, but for a pizza qualification, can it be cauliflower crust, or does it have to be a flour or bread based item to qualify?
Yeah,
Has to
it
be a
does have to
flour
be for
based.
me.
Okay.
Flour or even a, gluten-free
Sure.
flour, some type of starch.
Okay, fair.
Hmm.
That's it. It does it need to be leavened or not? Can you have would a flatbread qualify as a pizza then? I mean, I guess so
For
for you,
me,
but for you.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I like it. All right, I'm of that nature. I think most people seem to kind of have at least a qualification of that it rises, which rises it above the flatbread. But I could get down with your style
I
of it.
just have had really good um flatbread pizza. I mean, I guess it's topped well. It's
Yeah.
definitely in the non-traditional category,
Okay, I'm
but
with you
I
there.
would not say you can lay out like a tortilla and fry
Okay.
that up and then call that a pizza. That's not pizza.
You know, it's funny you say tortilla. I was reading a lot of these articles about this like Chicago tavern style, which Jim knows so well when he's here to talk about it, and he often describes these as like tortillas because people are like air drying them in your fridge, right? And it's a unique
Hmm.
creation for this tavern style pizza.
I'm not. I know that they rode the wave of Finizen,
Yeah,
and I tried to get on board, but it's just not my thing. But I mean, I would qualify that as pizza,
yeah,
but it's just too, it's like you're eating like a nachos grande. It's like I don't know what I mean. It's like so much on so little, and
I'm with
I
you
don't
on that.
feel. I guess too for me, pizza's like how I feel about like I'm thinking about or feeling when I'm eating it, and I don't get that same emotion at all when I'm eating a tavern style pizza. It doesn't make me feel like the same as like a deep dish.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know, I don't feel like I'm eating it with like a knife and a fork and I'm like picking it. It feels like
I'm
lasagna. It
with you.
doesn't feel like pizza.
If we like party cut a Neapolitan pizza, would this just be absolute blasphemy? Like, would you tell someone to leave if they said, "Hey, can you party cut that for us? We want to
Oh,
serve
they
a couple more."
do. They
Stop.
do.
No way.
Oh my gosh. Like you want me to cut it? What's eight? Who are we feeding here? Yes. Yeah, they do it. And I just smile. Yes, absolutely. I'm so agreeable. But then I
Yeah.
also think like it's just gonna all,
Yeah.
whenever
Yes.
you're,
Yes. Obviously, I would assume so.
and then they
Ah,
get all mad, they'll write a bad review. And all the toppings fell off. It's okay.
the challenges of being the owner. I get it, Anna.
I
I get it.
know.
Listen, I'm interested in this one though. If you get a note to not cut the pizza, are you like, oh, this is a pizza person? Like they know my style, or does anyone pick up on that, or am I overstating that when you're like, oh wow, nice, this person's gonna really enjoy this pizza if they're like picking it up for take home, right? And they're like, uncut. Are you like,
Yeah.
damn, like good
For
choice,
carry
good
out,
choice?
for carry out, I would just assume they're reheating it. But if they
Okay.
ask us not to cut it, and some people do, in the dining room, then I know that they understand the style.
Ah, okay.
That they've had it in Italy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
specifically in Naples, and that they understand the style. So, and I
Well,
actually just got quite a compliment from someone who was from Italy. I don't know if they were from Naples, but they came over after and asked, um, actually Eddie,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eddie's Pizza. They asked him if he was Italian, because they thought, the pizzaiolo, are you from
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Italy? He asked him, and he said, I'm not. And he said that this was one of the best pizzas I've ever had, and I'm from Italy, and you could tell by his accent. And then he looked at me and pointed at me and was like, "This is the owner." And he was like, and then he started speaking to me in Italian, like, saying all the things, and I just
Yeah,
said,
yeah, 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 yeah,
"Grazie." Like, I just, because he's like, "Do you speak Italian?" I was like, I can understand you, but I just respond in English. But
yeah.
but he was like super impressed by it, and I thought that was really nice because
Oh,
that
that's
makes me feel like I'm
awesome.
doing it right. Because then there's lots of people who come in and it's years. It takes years to educate a market.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the challenges of the style, right? Particularly, and probably, I don't want
Yeah,
to like categorize particularly for the area too, but it's not that you're not, I mean, you're not in New York City, right? But you're also not,
right,
the desert, right? I mean,
right.
you've got a big population, but still to educate just on the style, like that's tough. I'm with
Hmm.
you, and that's a struggle all the time for it, right?
And they think after 13 years, people coming in for the very first time, I've been so excited to try this place, and the pizza was just ugh, and then it didn't have any basil on it, and it was all in one spot, and the pizza just like all the toppings fell off, and they wouldn't cut it into
Oh,
13, and so you get all those comments, and you're just like,
yeah, I
you
feel
know,
you on that one.
whatever.
I get it. I
Did
get
my
it.
best.
You
And then
tried.
my the worst is though whenever they like say all that and then you like look at the picture and you were like, well, that looks perfect. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I'd eat
yeah.
it. You wouldn't say that to their face, but I think it too.
That's fair. Listen, you got to be able to live somehow, right? And then to go through it that way, I would say. So I get it. All right, listen. Let's end on just one more, and I'll see if I can share this one. We were having trouble sharing, but hopefully I can. Let's see. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. So we didn't get to talk about this. Pizzeria De Laura, owner's dream, a long time coming. So I'm interested. Did you get to speak with Laura at all at Expo? I feel like you guys may know each other.
I
But
do.
anything, so this is her right up here in Pizza Marketplace about her new spot. I'd love you to share any insight you can about her style of pizza. I know Michael was just chatting with her the other day, so I think see an episode popping up soon on our YouTube page. But any thoughts on her new spot or the style of pizza that she's doing, just about her in general?
I love her. She is She's so much fun and just so knowledgeable about pizza. We did get to spend some time together, just naturally being on the team together. She's
Yeah.
very busy at Expo, but at Women in Pizza events or whenever the WPC team gets together for our sponsor dinners and whatnot, I actually remember her sitting at a WPC dinner, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, just kind of like, I don't know what's next for me. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know where. I think it was in 2022. It was right out of COVID. She had just been selling focaccia bread in Berkeley
Yep.
and was like, where do I go with this? And what's next for me? And, and then a year later to see her put this restaurant together is just like
Yeah.
so fascinating to watch. And she's so super talented. So
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
It's cool.
And her
I
pizza's
again,
great.
I think I tried her pizza before at Expo. I want to say I forget what she was doing, like a demo or something she was doing when I was there, and I thought it was really enjoyable. But she was, I think she was still working with Tony
Hmm.
when I was there before pre-COVID. So yeah, it's cool. She's cool. I can
I
tell. I know
met
she's a guest now
her.
with Michael.
I met her for the very first time on a bus in Naples going to the Caputo factory. I had no idea who she was. I mean, I had been attending Expo since 2013.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I just didn't, like I said before, I wasn't really that involved in the pizza process.
yeah,
We sat near each other. We just chatted the whole time.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then she ended up winning the Caputo Cup. And I was like, oh, who is this
yeah,
girl?
yeah. Oh shit, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Oh, cool, awesome.
she
I
has a
love
cool
Anna.
story.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, I think that's all the articles we had for today. Listen, thank you so much for coming on. I had a blast chatting with you as always. So let everyone know where they can find you, Anna, across social media.
It would be for my restaurant would be Mercurio's PGH for both Instagram or Facebook. We are currently not on TikTok. And Anna dash cruise it
Underscore.
underscore. I actually think I changed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I did.
Wait,
But in
you're the
either case,
OG. You're the OG with underscore.
I can't remember, but
You're just so active, you can't worry about these things out there. I get it.
it could just be all without it. It could just be Anna Crucit, but really and truly, just find me at my restaurant. It's basically who I am anyway.
If you're
Mercurius PGH.
if you're looking for Anna, come to her spot to talk with her. She prefers to speak, right? Let her know, chat with her, tell her all about your favorite toppings and how many you want to pile on top
Yes.
of her pizzas. And where's the basil at? Ask her for some pecorino.
It's all
Do you
on the
think?
third quarter. It was a busy day.
All good, all good. Listen, everyone else though, guys, thank you for everyone for tuning in and listening tonight. Check us out, please, on YouTube. I Need Pizza Club. Like and subscribe. We've got a lot of content out there as well. We were just talking about Anna. She will be. I mean, we were just talking about Laura. She'll be out there with an interview from Michael. I think it just it's probably up this week. We'll be out there as well, and we've got a ton of other content as well as there. And you can look back a couple weeks and see Anna on here from a prior episode. So, Anna, thanks again. Awesome. I had a blast. Awesome time as always. And everyone else, we'll catch you
Always
guys next
fun.
week. Thank you.
Thank you.